Most travel companies sell tickets. This one built a global machine for unforgettable experiences. Welcome to the Glovisor Podcast, where we explore business growth, communication, and personal development through real conversations with people that make an impact. Our guest is the founder of Rosotravel, a global travel company serving over 400,000 customers across 30 countries and 6 continents. She built the business from scratch at the age of 23 and speaks on entrepreneurship, scaling global companies, remote leadership, and business growth strategy. Glovisor welcomes Weronika Sipak.
Thank you very much for this warm invitation. And I'm happy to be here with you today.
All right. So Weronika, we're going to start off with, please share with us a little bit more about what you do.
Yes, of course. So thank you very much for this introduction. As Rosotravel, we organize guided tours in over 100 cities all over the world. We started in Poland, and that was the first place when we started, in Gdańsk, actually. And then Poland, Europe, now we have US, South America, and also we are launching Asia actually just now, Bali. We organize guided tours, and we do it always with the expert guide. So this is our mission, always to provide our customers the best experience. That's why we are doing this with experts who have huge experience and a lot of knowledge, so that we all can always provide the best experience. Our mission as a company is to organize the experience which will give you the memories you will have for the lifetime. So that's our mission, and yes, that's what we do every single day. And we have the remote team, which is based in 2 countries, in Poland and India, and we hire right now 55 people in the office.
Wow, that's quite a growth. But let me just ask you a quick question here. Are these preset trips, or can I contact you directly and say, Weronika, I want to go here and I want to do this? How does that work?
So basically, we have mostly preset trips, and I will tell you why. That's the business case, actually. So first, when we started, we were doing both, the preset trips and also more customized trips. But when you want to scale the company, the case is that, those customized tours usually take a lot of time to prepare. We have 2,000 private tours across all cities when we offer our tours. So basically, each tour can have a few options, 2, 3, 4 hour options. Depends what you choose. You can do, a few things, see few things more, or have dinner, also among the tour. So basically it's like this, that we rather want to give you our expertise and share with you what we know, that we have those and those options. But if you want, we can also make the customization. But in general, we are prepared this way, that the customizations are really not needed, because we already have very good tours prepared before.
Got it. And now for these group tours, are there minimum number of people or a maximum?
So we have 2 types of tours. First type is private tours, and those private tours we organize in every city. And also we have group tours, and those tours are run like this. That, for example, every single day we have a few tours in London for Westminster Abbey, and you can join this tour. You have a few different groups on the tour. Those tours are cheaper, but also you share the tour, you share the guide with others. But those tours we do in 10 cities, and in the rest of the cities we have private tours. Also depends on the language. For example, in Vienna we offered tours in 29 languages, but shared group tours we have in 5 languages, because you have some very specific languages, and there is no so much demand for this. So from the business case, from it's this, that we don't do it for every single day, but the customer can buy it from the private tour. From my personal experience, private tours are incredible from this point of view, that you can ask everything, and you can adjust the tour to yourself. If you are tired and you simply want to sit and have a coffee, you can do it. If you want to have a lunch, you can do it. If you would like to ask more questions about, for example, culture than history, you can always do it. For the group tours, the guide has to adjust the program to big group and that group can be combined with the people from a lot of different countries, so of course the customization is much harder. So but it's also a nice experience. I always recommend to go for those two types and choose what you like more personally.
So now, what inspired you to pursue this career path?
During my faculty, which was totally not connected with this area because I was studying on IT faculty. But when I was a student, I joined the student organization, which is called ISEC, and ISEC showed me this entrepreneurship, like how we can create amazing things in the world. ISEC is like the biggest students organization, international students organization, and I met there people which created one of the biggest companies in Poland. They were working on the top level, management positions in like the biggest corporations in the world. So basically, Isaac showed me what is possible, that everything is possible. And if we set up ourselves like huge goals, then we can do it. So that was like the first inspiration. Okay, I don't really need to like simply work like on the, let's say, standard path. I can choose something which is bigger, which will like, make me grow, and I can do like amazing thing in this world. So basically that was the first, idea that I would like to have my own company. And I set up myself the deadline that on the fourth grade of my studies, I want to create the company. So I set up myself the deadline, and I encouraged my boyfriend back in time to join me so we can start something together. And that's somehow that we started to think what we can do. So this is very unusual path, because normally it's like, someone is just, has some passion for some specific area, or is like the expert in some area, and then start the business. In this case, in my case, it was totally different. Let's say it's kind of funny when I'm talking like right now about it. 9 years later, 400,000 customers later, it's kind of interesting. But back in time, I was not like, let's say, saying about this like so officially, let's say, because it was like not something which say I could be proud of, that I'm not an expert and I am doing the company like this. I had to really work on myself and of course learn a lot, because that was what was needed. So first I had to learn a lot how to do it. And but I was always like let's say huge fan of traveling. So that is like very close to my heart. And right now that I know that it's very close to my heart. Also, I like to study, I like to learn. So like the guided tours are about exploring the city, getting to know the city. So this is very close to my heart. But back in time, it was like from very different angle, let's say. So I'm saying this, that maybe someone hasn't any idea for the business yet. But it doesn't mean that, if you don't have any business idea yet, that you would not start the business. Simply, you need to set up yourself the deadline. Okay, this day I'm starting, and I will choose some ideas, and from those ideas, I will choose one. And then I will check if this idea works out, actually.
Well, I like that you chose something that was close to your heart. And I think that's important, right? Because it gives you a real basis to really move forward and to grow from there. What are the challenges that I can see of starting a business such as this is scaling to other countries, in dealing with the different individuals, to coordinate all of these moving parts that a business like this requires? Has that been a challenge for you?
Yes, that's a challenge for sure. But first, what we did, we started, from one city in Poland to another cities in Poland. So that was the first, let's say, growth, like more local, but still to the other cities. So we knew how to do it online, let's say, on this level, how we can technically do it. But there were other barriers which we didn't expect, actually. And those were connected with the nationality. So we are from Poland. We are based in Poland. And, there were people which didn't have like so good opinion about Poland. So there were cases like guides at the very beginning were scared, for example, to work with us. But we could do it another way, like this way that, for example, we were like doing this way that we were sending the money to the guide before the tour. Before the tour starts, so he had the money on the account. We knew that we will not cheat on him, and this way we were building trust. And right now we have very good opinion. They know that we always pay on time, or even sometimes before time. That was a process. It's, right now we are, for example, in Vienna, on the market 5 years. So after that 5 years, we are, one of the best, if not the best, company to cooperate for the guides. And they really appreciate work with us. But at the very beginning, they were scared. It's like, this is the true word. They were scared because, Poland for sure is not known globally from the travel industry or in general. Now it's changed. Like after that few years when I was, this year in Florida, I was speaking to a lot of people from US and heard a lot of amazing things. But, back in time, it was like a little bit different. So people were a little bit scared. But, we get our point, and now I would say now it's easy, but we had the time when we had to simply find our way to build the trust.
And I'm sure that that's one of the biggest issues that I wasn't even thinking about when I asked you this question. I'm thinking just logistically, right? Just coordinating people and all of that. But trust is a huge thing. And I can see that but you're on the other side of that now because you've proven yourself in many different countries. Now I'm sure that it's the other way around where people want to work with you even before you approach them.
Yes, that's right.
That's probably the case. Now, if one of our listeners wanted to work with you, what would that journey look like?
We have this kind of rule that customer can book the tour today for tomorrow. So, we have a few thousand guides, let's say, with whom we cooperate with. So it's mostly works like this, that we have... we are in contact. We are, let's say, discussing the general terms, and we start for one tour, so the guides can have a look how our tours like, how do we work from organizational side, and then depends on the city because in some cities we have more tours, some cities less. Like in Vienna or London, we have like a lot of tours. Then, for example, the guide can have even like a few tours per week when we can cooperate. What is like always important for us is the rate from the customers. So what we always track is the rate which customer gave to the guide. But it's like officially we always say this because it's very important for us as the company to provide the best guided tours and the best experience to the customer. So we always track it. We always share it with the guides so they can have the feedback as well from the customer. And this is, one of the most important factors for us, which we track every single day. So to make sure that our customers are satisfied.
Now, one of the things that just came to mind is, let's just say, taking it, for example, the London tour. Do you travel to that location to learn about the subjects, what would be interesting to whomever is going to take your tour? Or do you just generally just know this from afar? You just know what's valuable and what needs to be highlighted, and you require that of your tour guides?
Usually, like first steps in every single destination we do online. So that's the first thing. But we have our patterns because we already organized like many tours. So we know what our customers like, what they don't like, and usually we do like, let's say, similar tours in other cities basically. So we know how to make the content. But what we do that when we have the tours which are our best sellers, then from time to time I'm going, for example, to Vienna or London as a silent customer. So I'm joining the tour and checking how it works. And, from organizational side, I'm checking my team if they are replying fast to the message that I'm late. For example, I'm late. I cannot find the guide. What should I do? And I'm checking what is their reaction, how fast they reply. What's very important, what we do the tours with expert guides. To become the licensed guide, you need to have huge knowledge. You have to pass like historical exams, etc. So you have to really be prepared for this job. It's like a few years sometimes to pass those exams. So that's why we are always working with very qualified people. Of course, not all of them have the same skills if it comes to the presentation. So from this point of view, we have some guidelines for them, so they can, for example, they have this kind of checklist. How they should start the tour? What should they do during the tour and after? So that's what we do to make sure that we can somehow have those points which are important from us and for our customers that we already know from through those years.
Now, you mentioned testing. Is this a third-party organization that conducts these tests?
No, usually we do it by our own. It's simply you can put remember that we are working online remotely. So we don't know each other so much if it comes to face. Of course, some people we already know, but we work with many guides. So sometimes when you will go to some tour, they will not know who I am, and then they will get to know afterwards. So yeah, but we don't use the third parties.
You really get to see from the customer's perspective what they're experiencing. So that makes a lot of sense. I've seen a lot of independent travel agents. Do you have a process or a way to collaborate with these independents for them to send customers in your direction?
Yeah, so basically what we do personally, we only organize like a few hour experiences and activities. So how do we cooperate with agencies? They usually work with us on this way that they buy, let's say, our tours, and they add our tours to their whole, like, let's say, trip schedule.
Now, would you be able to share with us a client success story?
Let's say experience from the last 2 days. So basically in our company, you can buy the tours today for tomorrow because we know that usually it's like this, that some people are in the spot and somehow they don't have the idea what they want to do on the next day. And we want to really provide them this possibility. So we got the booking for 90 people in Warsaw in Russian language, like in the evening for the next day. It's really not easy to do this tour because we have also this rule that there must be one guide per 30 people, because for 90 people, they would not hear one guide for sure. So we had to find 3 guides in Russian language for the next day. And my team managed to do it. I'm very glad for this.
If listeners remember only one thing from today's conversation, what do you hope that message is?
What is very important for me personally, especially like last time, is like time flows very fast. And either from business or personal, case, it's important that we spend our time wisely, the way that we don't regret every single day. So if you want to start the business, start the business. If you want to start the family, do it, but simply do it this way that you always take care of your values. If you take, for example, for me, always the value is like health, family, and business, those 3 things. And so I always want to give like my time to those 3 areas. And I think this is very important for us as the business owners to don't forget about our other values, not only about the business case, because life is going very fast. So it's good to do everything what we want to do.
That is great advice. And you're totally right. It flies by. And health, love, and wealth, those are the major things of life. Where can our audience connect with you, learn more about your work, and continue this conversation?
Yeah, so with me personally, you can connect through LinkedIn or for example, Instagram. And you can find me on my personal name, which is Weronika Sipak or Veronica. How do you say in English with W and K because this is Polish spelling. And if it comes to my company, Rosotravel, you can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. We share some more about some destinations when we do the tours, some tips, etc. So if you would like to connect, it would be nice to find you there.
Veronica, thank you so much for joining us. And we appreciate all of your time and the value that you've shared.
Thank you so much. It was so pleasure to be here with you, Joe. You give amazing value to the world, and I keep my fingers crossed for this. And I'm sure that it will grow more and more in the next months and years.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If this episode inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to follow the Glovisor Podcast for more conversations that make an impact. Till the next time.